Hey, what's up, everyone? Playing a different new standard deck today. As you saw in the last few videos, I've mostly been playing rogues recently. Actually, for a long time, I played basically most of the last format too. But not too big on the mono red matchup, which I think is definitely the deck to beat going into the next week or two. Absolutely crushed the SCG the last 2 weeks. Seems to be doing well on ladder. So I want to try a different deck. Another red black deck, very up my alley. It's a standard deck I've been wanting to try for a while. Uh, I changed the list pretty heavily though, because I do expect a lot of creature decks in the metagame. Like a big omission you'll probably notice is Croxa. I really don't like how it stands against the aggro decks. I think you have to play a lot of weak cards in order to enable it, like Mire, Triton, and Kimmerit Calls the Dead. I think that's actually why a lot of the red black decks have been having issues, is their individual card quality just isn't high enough. Instead, leaning into like a plan with Goldspan Dragon, obviously a great card to pair with like Valky against like mid range decks, Shatter Skull, Smash, and catch up against the aggro decks, leaning really heavily into the tempo swings you get against creature decks with the active treason effects, the threaten effects with the sack outlets and village rights, Woe Strider, Rankle. So sort of have this to try and cover the creature decks. Then we got a little bit more of like an aggro plan. We got main deck Skyclave Shades to try and cover against the control decks. Board's like a little bit of work in progress. I wanted to go with like a transformational board against like the rampant control decks, Robber the Rich and Phoenix the Ash to give us more early pressure duress to disrupt them. So pretty heavy package for that. And then with main deck mostly being geared towards beating creature decks. Hop into it. I did hit Mythic just before recording with the similar list, so try and see if we can run it down a bit. I have about a week left. I do plan on going for some sort of low finish. I haven't been playing too much at the moment. Been a little busy, but getting back into it. It was a good hint. We'll keep. Okay, playing against mono red, so perfect. This is exactly the deck we want to test against. Not the best hand for it, but also not the worst. The shades are mediocre here. I went with them over Croaks just because I actually think they're more effective in the matchups where they're both good. Like they're both going to be bad here, but I really just feel like it paired better for what we're trying to do. Because we are good at pressuring decks too. It works really well with Rankle, which is a card I wanted to maximize. And again, I really just think Croaks is pretty. Well, I do absolutely love the card. Like, you'll see my historic videos with the red black deck. It's the best card. It's the reason to play the deck. But the benefit it has there is the cheap spells and the enablers are actually good cards, whereas opposed to standard, they're all pretty bad, honestly. And it's really just don't play bad cards in your standard deck or avoid it as much as possible. It's definitely a format about having just individual powerful cards doing powerful proactive things. We'll get that on the Woe Strider. Wouldn't be surprised if it dies. Take a Frostbolt, another Bone Crusher. We'll get the Crone more in next turn on the Bone Crusher. Even if it's dead, we can piece it to the rights. Okay, that's a good one to steal. Yeah, it's actually part of the reason why I like taking the sack approach to beat the creature decks is against like mono white. You run into issues with a hollow season blade or seasoned hollow blade or whatever that gets indestructible. Against the red, they'll have annex. So it can be a lot of tricky to circumvent the different types of resiliency these aggro decks have. But I do like the fact that this is an interesting attack. What do they have? I assume they have Frostbolt on. They have. I'm confused. Do they just want a different one? I would guess like Spikefield has it or Rimrock Giant. Yeah, I guess it's Rimrock because I would lose this. All right, I don't want to trade this for 1 damage. We'll take. Kind of like getting a little aggressive here. I don't think they have Embercleave. They maybe would have went for it last turn, although it's possible they just wanted to get this down first. 6, 9. All right, I like getting in with both. If they trade here, I'm very happy. Our blocks are still fine even without it. Yeah. He would sack the shade to get a token. I guess the tokens can't block either. Okay, they got another one. Extremely happy to make this trade. That's a good one. Yeah, so you'll obviously see this is exactly what I was talking about. The strength against you have against creature decks. These are just massive swings. Sort of a perfect first game as an example. Uh, yeah, interesting. Guess they just want to preserve the life total. Game seems insane for us. They have to send in here. Well, yeah. All right, so I would guess they have an Ember Cleave. How do we best not lose to it? I don't think it's going to be an issue, but what do we do? If they tap out to Cleave, do we have lethal? We have 4, 7, 10. I guess we'll lose this, so this will go down to power. We'll have 3, 6, 9, 10. 3, 6, 9, 10. If we draw any red card, we have lethal. Draw like draw like claim the first one. We have lethal, rankle. All right, so I'll block like this. I'll let them do their thing. If they 10 us, we're gonna village rights away the token. We have a scry too if we wanted to. Yep. All right, Embercleave. All right, not quite lethal still. Stop him out, keep just so we can think. You could look for a rankle, sack the token. Hmm. That'll work. Okay. Okay, win the first game. Deck did basically exactly what we wanted in the matchup, so kind of nice to have that in the first game. Board in some removable. I've only played a couple of matches of this deck, definitely still a work in progress, but board has some of those. think I'm actually going to switch a second, eliminating Shoal Shatter. I'll probably do that after this matchup. I think I would like the way that plan works out a bit better. I like Valky against the white decks, not big against it on the with the red decks. So maybe I'll just go down. I normally just have a lot of removal. Honestly, even too much for the matchup. We'll try something like this. I do like the idea of red block. One matchup I'm not too sure about that I didn't touch on is cycling. So that deck's picking up a bunch. I think the way my current list is, I don't. Probably wouldn't be the biggest fan of the matchup, but I haven't played against it, so I don't exactly know yet. Hands are keep quite good. Sorry, just gonna full screen. Had to check something. Not a bad pickup with claim. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go pass. So I feel pretty comfortable keeping this on top. They're gonna play 2-drop, will claim, and writes it away. So I'm gonna keep this on top. I'd like to land, but I think this will work out fine for us. Yep. Oh no, that didn't work. I guess. All right. It doesn't really matter what we did, but I got excited. Like, all right, I had the 2-drop, but yeah, we actually lose it to the robber there. A little lame. I'll stomp now. A little annoying land would have been really nice there. We'll probably end up just playing a Heartless Act on this. Not too worried about a single 1/1. The nice one to take and sack can ping off something else. I think I'm just going to take the damage, get the Bone Crusher out here. They don't have Frostbite up on it. Won't die to another Bone Crusher. So, relatively safe tempo play. Develops the board a bit. Then, ideally, we'll get the 4th land and we'll Strider and Claim in the same turn. If we play this, it dies to Frostbolt and Bone Crusher. So, we're definitely just going to play the Bone Crusher Giant here. Irksome. Definitely irksome. It's awkward because I really don't want to kill it because I want it back, but I think I'm going to end up just going Soul Shatter. I have some Soul Shatters on board. I kind of like the idea of it not triggering Bone Crusher, not triggering Goldspan Dragon. Gets around a lot of times against white decks. I think you'll run into the issue with and they have the cleave, kind of expect it. I can kill both their things here, though. I can claim the firstborn and blood chief. This hits anything, right? Yeah, so I can claim this, then I'm going to blood chief thirsted and kill this. Clean up the board nicely. They'll still have the Ember Cleave, which is an issue, definitely. Okay. Frostbite it. Actually, fine exchange for us. We don't get the damage through, and we take an extra 2, but haste creature is annoying at this point. Like Rabber the Rich kills us. Just looking to dodge stuff like that. Yeah, this will put us to 2. Oh, it actually kills us because the ability. Wow, yeah, if the ability kills us, then they get to pump this. Always annoying when that comes up. Not sure what I could have done differently. Just miss land drops a bit. Run it back. Yeah, but I think I was in the middle of saying against the white deck, she run into problems with the Alcea, Life's Bounty, and the benevolent bodyguard dog. I forget the selfless savior. So getting around that's nice. A lot of times they'll kind of go big on one creature with like a maul, season hollow blade, or even the 4/4. So a lot of times I like the idea of removal spell that gets around that. So messing around with those. Like I said, nice that it gets around Bone Crusher, Goldspan Dragon's ability. Go ahead and keep this one. Double Bone Crusher against an aggro deck. Gotta find the third land. We have 26 mana sources, so hopefully it's not too much of an issue. That was what kind of did us in last game. But we have 23 real lands with 3 Shatter Skull Smashing. Curve isn't like absurd or anything, too. We have 2 5-drops. Alright, well, we gotta find the land still. But alright, we held the Bone Crusher exactly for this reason. Go ahead and knock out the Robber. Okay, we do in fact hit. The options are obviously Bone Crusher or Woe Strider. Advantage to Woe Strider would be that if we Rankle next turn, we can trade the 0-1 for the 1/1, which is kind of nice. Get that going. Hmm. We have some time in that, though. Super high likelihood they play like an Annex next turn. We're not going to want to do anything like that anyway. So I think like just getting the more resilient play down. Less fragile, at least. Yep. Okay. That's sort of weird where I considered that for as a reason for both of them. Like if we Woe Strider, draw exactly claim, I would have liked to have had in play. Hmm. I'll play it here. If they kill it, it's not that big a deal. We have a backup if we draw the 4th land. They could Ember Cleave us for a bunch, but I think we'll recover. We'll take what 5, 6, 12. It's not even that bad. They do go to remove a spell for it too. We can even crack the token and look for the 4th land to set up for the 2nd and the claim. Torvin. Okay, that's not good. It's not bad. I'll keep that. Kind of free attack. See what they do. If they block, I'm very happy to Bone Crusher it down. I want to leave the Bone Crusher back on D for the Torben. Could attack with the Low Strider too, but I don't think I want to do that. I guess I can. No, because I'll block the Faceless Haven with it if they go for it. I'm just more worried about taking control of this game. I don't want to take unnecessary damage. Uh, Looking for a cleaner answer to this. Probably will Bone Crusher the champion here. So many annexes. You just play one every turn. Probably Blood Chief's Thirst on this, knowing they'll get the token, but not that big a deal. Alright. Now what do we want to do? Don't think it changes anything. We could even Rankle, actually, because I don't really care which one I kill. I guess it's a little annoying they sack this to get two tokens that get charged up from the Torben. It'd be nice to get this going, though. It's more dangerous. We're just going to play safe. We're so far ahead that we're just going to play this game like a coward. I think we're just going to take 4 here. I'd rather pick this off before I kill this. We're at a pretty comfortable life total. This time I will keep the... Possible I should board out Rankles in these aggro matchups. I'm going to have to configure my board a little differently then, I think. Valky might be better. Okay, so they have a Cleave. How do we block against Cleave? Because block like this, we go to 4, then we just have to deal with this. For them to suit it up and Cleave again the next time would take all their mana. Could even have 4, 7, 8, 10, 11. Not enough in the crackback to do anything good, but. Alright, let's block like this. We go to 4, we just have to deal with this. Okay, that's not bad at all. Makes me wish I blocked here, but not that big a deal. Basically, just trying to think I don't die to. Because I was thinking I kind of want to rankle here to knock their last card out, but I'd have to leave something back. I think that's worth it, though. This doesn't seem like it's anything good. It's pretty safe, though. I actually pitch a War Strider. Okay, just the mountain, but makes me feel safe. Just trying to dodge cleave here. They'll have to have another land too. So that's why I figured if we get the rankle out, like it'll be they'll have to draw land into cleave. And they fired that up and just traded it off, so seems pretty good for us. I don't know what their outs would be at this point. Here we're going to trade our 0-1 for their Fervent Champion. Good. We won our first game, beat Mono Red, which is exactly the deck I sort of changed the red blacklist to try and be able to beat it, so it's kind of nice. Felt kind of convincing too. Like we lost game 2, but mostly to mana troubles. They kind of had some of their better draws they can have against us too. Really, they picked up a lot of annexes, which is a tricky card against a lot of our uh, sacrifice cards, obviously. Die roll, but uh, we'll keep that. Kind of want the lands anyway for this hand. Be nice to pick up a sack out with these double Crown Wars, but if we end up drawing more lands, it'll be useful with the Goldspan Dragon to hopefully clear up some creatures. Bank pretty hard on our opponent playing creatures, but most decks in the format do. Crown War being nicer than other like threatens where you don't need the sack outlet for it to be good. Like you'll get value out of it still regardless. Triome, alright. So maybe some sort of Doom Foretold deck. Not the best for our hand. Would be an issue if decks like this start popping up. Would maybe have to reconfigure a little. Damn, I just switched my mic settings. Hopefully it wasn't bad for the beginning portion of the video. If it was, I apologize. I didn't realize I was using my laptop mic. Instead, I just changed it to my regular mic. Interesting play from our opponent. Just gonna play it right back. I guess if they were gonna do it anyway. They don't want to trade 3 damage for keeping this out of play for a more awkward turn. Alright, so it seems like a mirror, maybe. They brick on a creature. Here we have a small decision, and we can risk taking 3. If we don't draw the land and we want a dragon next turn. I think that's actually going to be better. Because if I draw another land, I'd really like to keep the Shatter Skull Smashing. Their creature deck, we have double Goldspan Dragon. We're going to have a lot of mana. I think it's worth it. Almost forgot to play a land. Yeah, like I said, these are kind of exactly the cards I'm trying to avoid playing. A little weak here, like they bricked on their first turn. Now they have a 2-1 in play. Yeah, let's get this going. Possibly I should have left the shade back. I'm sure they'll trade for it, but I don't know why they don't. Guess it makes sense to get a little value off the extra life and scry. These are both zombies. Again, very sorry if the audio on the beginning portion of this was messed up. Hopefully it turned out fine. I didn't realize my OBS was set to the default mic, not in fact my higher quality one. Here we're going to drag and shove with everything. If they don't block to go to 3, we get to Crow and War something post-combat. Like I said, exactly what I was talking about. These matchups kind of working out great for purposes of video. We beat Red exactly how we wanted to. We're playing against a mirror match where there's playing the exact cards I called out for being trash, while we just slam Mythic rares. Take the Bone Crusher. Now if they have removal for Goldspan Dragon, we have 7 in the air. Yeah. Our sideboard definitely needs work. I like what we're doing in the main deck a lot. I think I got to tweak this a bit. The one thing I'm worried about is the ramp game 1 matchup seem really bad, so I really wanted to have a real plan there. Their Croaksa deck, so Blood Chief's Thirst might be good. The Rankle's probably not at their best. I do like that it's a flying threat. They're going to have a lot of fodder, though. Eliminate's nice because they have Bone Crusher and Croaksa, I'm sure. I go with the Phoenixes. Valky's obviously real nice against Croaksa. I like having Skyclave Shade for redundant pressure, good against removal. Let's try the Phoenixes. Because I do sort of want that flying plan to get over the Mire Tritons and the Teamer It Calls the Dead stuff. Whoa, Shatter too. Alright, we'll try this. Some of the threads are a little annoying against like their opposing Village Rites when you get Village Rites in response, but I guess that's a liability with any removal spell. Or Strider, same thing, but we'll do this. Honestly, I really like my deck so far. I think the MQW is coming up next week too. I'm pretty sure it's next weekend. I gotta look into it, but so definitely gonna be jamming some standard for that. I'll try and keep an updated list of this going with the videos if I do think I'm seriously going to play it. I'll do a full sideboard guide probably a day or two before the event too on my Patreon. I'll put that in the description. You can check it out. So if you do like the deck or if you like these style decks and plan on playing it, I would definitely recommend checking that out. Sounds good. We'll keep. Need a red source, but I'm feeling good about some big Valky cheese here. I don't know why. I feel like it's going to get through. I feel like it's going to hit a Croaksa. Alright, pick up the red source. Alright, I don't think I'm actually going to go for it. I'm just going to play Skyclave Shade. Would be nice, though. And it's a good play against Bone Crusher, too. Every time they have Croaks here, they have 5 cards. You know what? We'll do it. I kind of like it. I feel like Skyclave Shade might be a better play, but kind of feeling it. Alright. I don't know why, I just kind of feel good about it. Thank you. Got to navigate around the Mire Triton a little. That's a weird play where I feel like this is a little stronger, I think, in some situations. But the equity on this and just like they could easily have like a Croaksa there. It definitely stands to reason that they'll still want to lead on Mire Triton. And the upside's just so high. I think sometimes when you really just have to weigh your equity in that situation, of the benefit's so high when the risk really isn't that much different. Like having this shade in play would be a little nicer because we can get a little pressure on, but I don't think that's exactly how this game was going to go. So how do we... We could just claim this for a turn jam. Like, that's really not even that bad. I'm going to wait a turn, just because I'd like to have a permanent answer to this. Gonna risk playing around a Bone Crusher. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna play this because I also don't want them to claim this and have it already turned. Make them at least invest a mana for me. Cycling the sales, probably, yeah. Here's digging for Bone Crusher. Hopefully they don't find it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, here I'm going to claim, turn the Valky, the next turn can Crow and War the Mire, try to get through again. Play land first, do this. Just play, if they do have something, we can do it again in response. Seems unlikely, but may as well. Not too sure what they could have here. Feel obviously very far ahead in this one. Very far away from Ox. Even if they have like a claim, if they don't have the... I guess they could... Claim the first one would be annoying because they claim the Croxa, they turn the Valky into a Woe Strider. Okay, they're just giving me my Woe Strider back. Okay, Rankle. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe I could have played around it better. Yeah, I could have not attacked with the Shade. And they're missing a red source for the Croxa still. I think I'm just going to Crown War the Rankle. Trying to think if I want to play the land to leave up rights or if I want to save it for these double shades in my yard. I think I'm going to save it. They just natural Croxa. I'm going to pitch the Woe Strider. Can play the land, get back both shades, then I'll have up Village Right still to pitch away their Rankle. One short on Ox. Interesting. Very interesting. Probably not going to make... I think my hand's better than theirs. A little surprised. I wonder what this card is. I could put each player discards a card, then with the trigger on the stack, I can Village Rights, assuming I'll draw a brick. I don't think I like Woe Strider. I think I like getting the rights this turn instead of Woe Strider Shade. No, I'm just going to leave it still. I don't want to discard a card. I think all my cards are going to be better than theirs. Also, just like I don't want to put cards in the yard for their Ox. Interesting. Game seems to be going great for me. That's fine. Because they're going to get this back on their turn, so I do want to... As much as I would love to fizzle that, I want to get rid of their ankle. Okay. I guess I'll just double shade here, leave up Stomp. If Stomp with Shatter Skull Smashing, should probably be able to get through lethal. Can't Croxus next turn. If they Ox and don't have anything else, they're dead. Liliana. Alright. Gonna Liliana. If they Liliana Ox, they're dead. Alright. We'll pitch Wolf Rider. We're gonna Stomp them, and then we'll Shatter Skull Smashing the Ox. They already played a land. Alright, and then we win. Decks felt really good so far. I kind of like what we have going on. I like to play against like a ramp deck now or mono white. Even like red green. Do one more match, hopefully run into something popular. Would like to keep tuning the deck. Just want to play against a variety of matchups. But I really like what's going on so far. I'm gonna ship this one. Sounds fun. Gonna put back a Fabled Passage. Want to keep the rights. And I'm definitely gonna need a removal spell to get to this dragon, most likely, depending on the matchup, at least.
Kind of keep castle. I think there are other lands I would bottom there, but I'll keep castle. Alright, just gonna kill this. Love to draw Claim the Firstborn. Crow and War. Alright, not going to play anything into Stomp here whatsoever. Just kidding. Foretell. What are they foretelling? Red-green Foretell card. I honestly can't even think. Oh, they're Teamer. Okay, so Teamer Adventures could be Saw Coming, Behold the Multiverse then. Alright, so that makes more sense. Ow. I'm going to go to 15. Worth a card here. Gonna Welsh Strider. Pretty sure this could easily be a Saw Coming. They didn't Behold the Multiverse last turn. Fully expecting a Stomp, but we're going to Village Rites it away. Will be a nice little exchange for us. This could now also be the Time Walk. That would make sense if they're... do we want to fizzle that? Yeah, we will. Yeah, I'm starting to guess they're now like Teamer. Oh, damn, negate. Alright, that's a little annoying, but... Alright, this is definitely the Time Walk. Makes me wish we played this a little bit differently, but... I think I like doing that here. Plays around the Great Henge. I could Goldspan Dragon. Could bring this one back to be a bit more mana efficient, but I don't know if I want to use the Shadow Skull Smashing yet. Yeah, I like playing around the Great Henge here. Just getting the Love Struck Beast off the table. Play the one from my hand because I think I might want to keep this, especially if this is like the 1/1s can clear it up nicely. Fortunately, can't attack, but not the biggest deal. I don't think they're like Genesis Ultimatum. I think they're just like creatures, and I think this will actually be good. It's like we have the Woe Striders. We're going to pressure them. I really want to keep them off the Great Henge too. I think that's how we could lose. So anything that kills a big creature like this sort of does, I want to keep. So maybe bad. Also, we can also scry it away, which I kind of like. If they play a creature on their turn, it's great. And if they don't, we can just crack one of these to get rid of it. I think it ends up bad. So I think this has enough high upside where I'm going to keep it. And if it turns out, if they do something to make it bad, I think they're just going to Time Walk. Alright. That's fine. We can clean those up kind of easy at some point. Same with that. Okay, not a big deal. It's gonna work out fine for the most part. We'll hit this. We'll Shadow Skull smashing 2 of these. Dry Disruption is something to get. So many negates. Why do they have so many negates? 2 main deck negates? What is this? Now I'm really worried this is the Great Henge that's going to go so bad for us. We'll do this. If the last card's not good, we'll be fine. If it is the Great Henge, we're kind of boned. Okay, Cycle, it's a good sign for us, especially the way it tapped auto. I like my O1s. I could run this out, but I think I want to keep the mana. We're going to have to take control of the game before we win. I don't think getting this down does too much. I think the mana might be more relevant on a different turn. Letting us like double spell with this and something else next turn. Alright, that's annoying. Block here. Are we just dead? We go to 9, then they have 7, 9. Yeah, that sucks. I don't realize we were quite dead from that, but we are. Those negates really kind of screwed us. I could have played around them probably. I just really wasn't expecting, especially the second. They're not even like a Yorion deck. A little unsure of how to board. It's knowing that Duress isn't actually good against the Time Walk, otherwise I'd be pretty happy about it. This is good against the Innkeeper, but literally only that. Goldspan Dragon might be good. I'm afraid it's a little expensive, though. That says Valky, though, which Valky's... I mean, Tybalt, which Tybalt seems nice in this matchup. Chronoir is really bad against Negate. Try this. Not too sure. It's actually a little tricky to try and peg down exactly what they're doing. Because they could also transition pretty easily in boarding, it seems like. Obviously, don't have the rest be mana efficient. Wouldn't mind like holding on to little till I know exactly what I want to hit, but it seems like I may end up just curving out. I wouldn't be surprised if I Heartless Act Edge Roll and Keeper on 2, then I want to get the Wolf Striders going. So I'm just going to be... Well, I think a lot of times I board it in with like the idea of holding it. With this hand, I do think I just want to fire it off. Okay, we had a Vivian, not bad. Double Love Struck Beast, a little annoying, but we have answers. Maybe a little heavy on removal here, but again, I don't exactly know what they're doing. Alright, brick on land. That sucks, but we have time to draw out of it. I feel like I've had issues with just being mana short, and I've 26 sources. I assume it's just small sample size, but possible I should look into adding something. Maybe like another spell land. It's because you do really want to curve out. Brutal. Alright, land. It's possible we could have went for like a Valky on that turn to play around that I really don't think is correct. Yeah, we're just dead to the Gargaroth. No winning. Yeah, super dead. If we draw it there, we're actually in okay shape, but alright, rough loss. That matchup seems like it might be a little tricky. I don't think it's like a popular deck. I think it's fixable too. I think red-green would be a little bit easier too, which is definitely a deck I expect to be more popular. Naya is also a deck I think people have to worry about if you haven't seen it pop up. There's like a Naya list that instead of playing Embercleave, they play like Unleash Fury. I think is the card like double powers. So I think that deck is a little... I think red-green and Naya will be way more popular than something like that. Like the Negates really screwed us in game 1. Then the Time Walk's actually kind of annoying, just creating more bodies that cause trouble for our Edict effects. So I think the more like traditional matchups that everyone can expect to run into, I think they'll play out a little bit better than that. And even that was winnable. Like game 1 was kind of close, and then game 2, we just didn't draw a third land. If we drew some lands, I think we would have been fine. But overall, I do actually like the deck. I think I'm going to keep working on it at least for another day or two. Definitely something I'm considering playing for the Mythic qualifier weekend. Like I said, I hit Mythic pretty... I did it mostly with rogues. I did the back half just so I was messing around with flood red-black cards before settling on a list like this. Like I said, I'm worried about rogues mono-red matchup right now. It's definitely playable. I did 6-0 the SCG Satellite, but I did kind of poorly in the actual tournament. Would definitely recommend Crippling Fears. I'm up to 3 of those. You can check out my list. I'm sure it's posted on SCG or MTG Melee or MTG Goldfish or something somewhere. My sideboard guide for that deck is up on my Patreon. But this is a deck I'm going to be working on for the next day or two. I'll probably do another video with it. Like I said, thanks for watching, everyone. Like I said, keep an eye out for all that stuff. So.